Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome around the globe to Kangen Water Radio, featuring the Kangen Water Health and Information International Call, where we consider, clarify, and often correct the conventional wisdom around Kangen water technology, the different machines, the science behind water types, uses, and benefits, the testing process, the maintenance and cleaning of the machines, and much, much more. We also explore a plethora of other topics as we teach, promote, and discuss the three-pronged approach to health and wellness: hydration, detoxification, and complete macro and micronutrition. I'm family physician Dr. Lisa Battle Singletary, now retired, now your virtual keto coach. And today, sadly, I will not be joined by my co-host and fearless leader, Mr. Terrence Hope, a Magic 6A distributor extraordinaire. He is at a funeral for a dear friend, and his presence was requested by the family. So he has left the reins with me, and I will do my best to give you a valuable experience today. Now, just taking a sec because somebody said they're trying to get in and they're having trouble. I don't know, because you guys are here. So thank you for being here. We're talking about, this is Independence Day weekend, and we're having awesome weather here on the East Coast. I know that there are amazing weather challenges around the country and around the world, but I'm thankful for a beautiful day today. And I'm having a beautiful day on the inside. So I don't know if I'm going to be doing any celebrating or grilling, but I'm here with you, and I'm really happy for that. Now, today is Saturday, and so we're talking about, my title, as you saw, was "Oh Say Can You See?" And of course, that's taken from the Star Spangled Banner. And being in the Baltimore area, you know, I've been to Fort McHenry and all that. So I have a connection with that song, but also I've, we've had a request to talk about eye health. So we're going to talk about vision health today. Now, this doesn't always happen to me, but today I got kind of philosophical, right? Because I was really thinking, okay, what's the difference between vision and sight? And I looked up definitions, I looked up Bible verses, I looked up famous quotes, and maybe I'll share some of those with you a little later. But, well, let's do vision right now. Okay. So the definition of vision, I guess this is dictionary.com, I can't even see. From Oxford Languages, so they should know, right? Oh, it's English. The faculty, this is vision, and there are two definitions that they put up real quick. The number one, the faculty or state of being able to see. And that was really the first impetus of the call. She had defective vision is the use of the word in a sentence. And similar words were eyesight and sight. And so that's what got me thinking, okay, vision versus sight. The second definition is, this is a vision, the ability to think about or plan the future with imagination or wisdom. And that vision really spoke to me because Helen Keller had a quote: "The only thing worse than being blind is having sight, but no vision. So, you know, there's some other quotes, maybe we'll get to them later, but we're talking about, I guess if I had to determine the nuance there, we're talking about sight today. We're talking about the eye structures and eye health, and how can we, using the three-pronged approach, improve our eye health or protect our eyes. Now, I have to say, now that I've used that word, protect, we do not on this call diagnose, treat, prevent, or cure any diseases. We give the body what it needs, and then the body does what it's designed to do, which is it is an amazing healing machine. So I want to share it to you, and I hope I can convey to you some of the wonders of these two little organs we have called the eyes, and of what they do, without getting too geeky. You know, I like to go geek. I like to dig in. I like to all the things that I've learned about the eyes. It's just amazing, but it took me years. So, but I want to start off with what will I start off with? Why don't we start off with an article? And I'll be bouncing back and forth between this article. I found this on healthline.com, and it's called All About the Eye: Structure, Function, and Common Conditions. Well, that just wrapped it up in the bow for me. So I'm using this article kind of to keep me on track, because this eye business is amazing. All right, so eye health. I'm gonna dig right in, but I have pulled up one of my three of my anatomy slides to share with you as we talk about the eye a bit. So I will share those with you as well. So eye health, the eyes are complex. Oh boy, do I have a slide showing that. Complex organs. There are many parts that must work together. Oh, that's an understatement. To produce clear, oh my goodness, just that one word, clear vision. Read on to get a basic overview of eye anatomy and learn about common eye conditions. Okay, parts of the eye. The major parts of the eye are listed below. Problems or malfunctions in any part of the eye cause many common eye conditions. So, did I say this is call number 404? It's call number 404. I can hardly believe that. So I'm going to make a note of these parts that they talk about in the article, so that when I show you on the slide, it'll be really, really clear. So the cornea is a clear layer of tissue at the front of the eye that helps focus light. So remember, everything from the opening, of the eye, the cornea, all the way back to the retina has to be transparent, so that light can get back and actually shine on the retina, and then it gets converted by the brain. Those signals get converted so that we can actually interpret the light. It's amazing. Okay, so cornea, I'm going to show you that. Tear ducts. Tear ducts might not be on the slide, but you know where your tear ducts are, right there. And they are little openings located in your eyelids at the inner corner. And that is where your tears drain down into your sinuses, or I don't even remember where maybe the back of your throat. I don't remember where they drain to. But tears are secreted by the lacrimal gland to the surface, and then the tears keep the surface of the eye lubricated. That's why we blink, to spread the tears along. And then that liquid goes down into the tear ducts. So we have to keep the ducts clear. We have to keep them draining. We have to keep them able to pull the fluid away, or else they'll get blocked. They'll get swollen. They'll get painful. They get infected. Oh, I'm not supposed to talk about problems yet. Okay. So tear ducts, cornea, tear ducts, iris and pupil. So the colored part of the eye is the iris, and it is a set of muscles that can control the pupil. The pupil is the hole in the middle of the eye, in the middle of the iris. And if that hole is really tiny, it only lets a little light through. If the hole is big, it lets a lot of light through. And it responds, not only, this is a cool thing, not only do the muscles respond like if you shine light in one eye, if you shine a bright light in one eye, the muscles automatically clamp the pupil down and make it small. But there's something called the consensual light reflex that the other eye, even if you only shine a light in one eye, the muscles in the other eye make the pupil small. It's amazing. Right, so the pupil responds to light, or the iris responds to light to control the size of the pupil. The lens is what focuses the light onto the retina. And then the optic nerve. So the retina is where all the signals come. The light hits wherever it's focused by the lens, and all those signals are turned into electrical impulses that follow your optic nerve up back into the rest of your brain. So cool. Okay, so let's take a look at some of these. There you go. Some of these structures. Okay, oh, say, can you see? These are vision health strategies. Well, this is just anatomy right today. So what was the first thing? The cornea. All right, so you see this outer clear area. Everything has to be clear until it hits the back of the eye. So this is the front of the eye. This is the cornea. So it talked about a covering, an outer covering. But look, when it gets past your eyelids, it's not clear anymore. So this is a specialized area of the cornea that it has to be clear for the light to get through. Then there's this anterior chamber that is basically a fluid, and there's a posterior chamber of fluid. We're not going to talk about the fluid today, but if there's too much pressure in either of the chambers, then we have something called glaucoma, where the fluid or the pressure is building up. So there has to be a good flow, a good drainage, a good circulation. We talk about flow being so important. Well, flow is important even in the eye, the flow of light into the eye and the flow of fluids around the structures of the eye. It's amazing. Okay, next we have the lens. Oh, the tear ducts, you can't see on this one because this is taking a slice like right in the middle of the eye, and the tear ducts are not in that plane. But like I said, you know where they are. The pupil and the iris. All right, so here's the pupil. This is the hole. And I could probably find another, a frontal picture of it. But just imagine that's the hole. And this is the iris. This gives you your eye color. But it does more than that, because as you can see, there are muscle fibers in your iris. There are they're round muscle fibers and they're long muscle fibers. So the iris has a huge function, more than just making your eyes look pretty like Valerie's. I see Valerie's on here. Hey, she's got beautiful eyes. And that's because of her iris. She's got a beautiful soul too. But behind the pupil and the iris is the lens. And this lens, look at those little lines attached to the lens. Guess what they are? They're structures that are holding the lens in place, but also they pull the lens and make the lens different shapes. These are muscle fibers here, again, that affect the lens. And so when you're looking in a microscope and you're looking real, or you're looking at something real tiny and real close, your lens is going to help. So it's what gives you, we try to duplicate what the lens does with bifocals and trifocals and progressive lenses, right? But your eye does it so amazingly. But just think, if your lens gets cloudy, I'm probably jumping ahead too, but that's where cataracts start. So we talk about the three-pronged approach, detoxification. When there's oxidative stress, right, that causes inflammation and that causes cloudiness of the lens. So we want to keep the toxins out. Or when your muscles get stiff and your lens doesn't, or your lens itself gets stiff and it doesn't respond to the muscles focusing, well, that's when people get nearsighted or farsighted, or the lens has a little, it's not perfectly symmetrical. It has something called an astigmatism. I have one of those, where it's not completely symmetrical. So there's like an angular shift in your vision. I didn't explain that well, but what we want to do is avoid stuff like this. How do you do that? Hydration, detoxification, and complete nutrition. Or we help the body. We help the body to keep the eye tissues healthy. All right. Now, where does the light go from the lens? The lens focuses it on the retina. And we're going to take a look at the retina in just a minute, but look at the layers of the eye. It's so amazing. The layers in the layers go all the way around the globe. But actually the retinal tissues don't, because they're only where the light can hit. But the connective tissue and all of the tissues of the eye, amazing. Okay, but guess what? Here's your optic nerve. So all the signals that come in to the retina, they all get converted to nerve impulses, and they're sent via the optic nerve deep into the brain, all the way to the back of the brain, actually. It's amazing. Okay. Maybe let's just go on with this and we'll get back to the article. So, all right, so here's our eyeball up here. This is the left eyeball. And here's the front, right? This is the cornea, the anterior chamber. The pupil is the hole here in the middle of the iris, which here's the color. So this person had blue eyes. You know, this imaginary person in this drawing has blue eyes. Behind the pupil is the lens, and the lens focuses the light that comes through onto the cornea. So, no, onto the retina. So we're taking a section of the back of the eyeball. We're taking a section of the retina and we're looking at these layers. And that's what this is. It's just a blow up of that one little section. Look at how complex this is. So the light is going to come through. Here's the light coming through the cornea, the anterior chamber, the pupil, the lens, the posterior chamber, and then hitting the back of the eyeball. Now, look at this. The first thing it hits is blood vessels. And that is how your eye doctor can look into your eye. He looks into your pupil and he can see the blood vessels in the back of your eye. Now, if you have high blood pressure, there are changes that happen in these blood vessels. And this is the only place that we can see these changes with the naked eye. So when I say we, physicians or health practitioners, we can look into the back of your eye and see things that are affected, or that are changes that are affected by diabetes, mostly, and high blood pressure, and other changes as well. That is an important tool that we have to be able to actually look and see these tiny, tiny vessels. But then the light passes right through into these amazing cells. You might have heard of cones and rods. Some of them are triggered by color. Some of them are triggered by black and white. And they send their nerve signals into the optic nerve. Then what happens? So let's go back to this. Here's the optic nerve, right? All of these signals go, and take a look at this. All right, now, and I thought about sight versus vision. You can have sight, but if anything is blocked all along the way, you won't have vision. All right. This is so amazing. It's hard for me to decide what to tell you and what not to tell you. But the light that comes into your eye, it's not only focused by the lens, it is flipped upside down, and it's projected to specific parts of the retina. And this is amazing because we're not really seeing, quote unquote, the world the way it is. We're seeing the world upside down in a way, right? But then our brain reinverts it. Our brain interprets the signals. And they did experiments. I don't know why, those poor people, but they put glasses on people that flipped the image. They had prisms and lenses that flipped the image of what they were seeing upside down. And the people had to wear the glasses for like 6 months. And by the end of the 6 months, I'm sure it took different times for different people. By the end of 6 months, when they took the glasses off, the world was upside down. Like their brains had reinterpreted the upside down image to make the brain think, okay, when you lift, when your body feels your arm lifting a glass, it's going up. So, but in your eyes, it looked like it was going down because of those special glasses. Your brain reinterpreted those signals and says, okay, I know you think it's down, but it's up. And it's just amazing. So look at the path that has to be traveled. The light goes to the retina, like we said. It has to go to what we call the optic chiasm via the optic nerve. Part of it goes back to the same side. Part of it gets split to the other side. So complex. And so depending on where someone's vision might be cut out, we could have an idea of where a brain tumor might be, because sometimes people will lose vision in a specific place. And whether it's one eye or two eyes, if it's the upper left hemisphere or the upper right or the lower left or the lower right, it's amazing. Okay. Now, interestingly, the eyes don't just depend on your brain, your cortex, to interpret signals. The signals first go to something called the thalamus. And we've mentioned the thalamus before. The thalamus is like the gateway, the switch, all the sensory signals that come into your body, with one exception, have to pass through the thalamus before it can get to the cortex of the brain for processing. What's that one exception? The sense of smell. Your olfactory nerve, your sense of smell, your smell receptors send signals directly to your cortex with no interpretation by the thalamus. And just think about when you smell certain things and it triggers a memory, it takes you back. It's because that chemical reaction, that signal was you could almost say it was hardwired into your brain because there was no filter. And I don't know why that is. It might have something to do with the survival instinct, when you smell fire or you smell, I don't know. I'm not going to go all that philosophical today. Let's go back to the article. But look, just so complex to not only see, meaning have the signals come through, but to have them interpreted so that it gives those signals meaning is amazing. Okay. Maybe we'll get back to that another day. All right. Oh, welcome to those of you who've joined us. Thank you. So we're talking about sight today, vision, eye, and vision health. And we're looking at an article on Healthline. So what kind of errors can there be? There could be refractive errors when light isn't focused properly, when light doesn't get in, when there's something that's cloudy inside, everything isn't exactly clear, then your vision can be blurry. Sometimes some of that can be corrected by glasses, contacts, or surgery. Some of it can't. Okay, so myopia, nearsightedness, when far away objects look blurry, but near items look clear. Hyperopia is farsightedness. So close-up objects are blurry, but you can still see clearly in the distance. Astigmatism is when the cornea is not perfectly shaped. And presbyopia, that's what happens in aging. That's because of a loss of elasticity of the lens. But you know what? Three-pronged approach. We give the eye what it needs. We hydrate, detoxify, give it all of the essential micronutrients and macronutrients. Watch what the body does. Oh, that would be a pun. I didn't mean for that one. Okay, glaucoma, increased pressure. We talked about that, of the fluid inside the eye. Cataracts, the lens of the eye is blurred or tinted, depending on what is causing the inflammation or the blurriness through the oxidative stress. Macular degeneration. So when parts of the back of the eye, the actual nerve cells start to deteriorate. Of course, you're going to have blurry vision, amblyopia, a lazy eye. So that's a problem with the muscles of the eye and the response of the eye to the different muscles. Diabetic retinopathy. Wow. Definitely a leading cause of blindness. This is damage to the blood vessels, those little teeny blood vessels in the retina, because of we go back and read or listen to the kidney and blood call. I don't remember if I had a catchy name about it, but the same thing that happens to the blood vessels in the kidneys happens to the blood vessels in the eye, in the brain, and all over the body. So we went into detail of what can happen to those capillaries. Retinal detachment. Okay, so soft connective tissues in the body, they need maintenance, they need structure, they need the collagen and the vitamin C, and they need to keep those tissues strong, right? Or else things can happen like a retinal detachment. And when that happens, there can be blood or fluid collecting behind the retina and distorting the vision. That is definitely a medical emergency. Like, get thee to Wilmer Eye Center, or whatever the eye specialty clinic is in your area. All right, so the eyes are this says complex. I don't think complex is a good enough word. The eyes are wondrous. The eyes, they see, but when you look in, you see so much. Like, what's the quote? The eyes are the windows to the soul. The eyes are amazing. So thank you for indulging me. I hope I didn't get too super geeky, but wow, what a topic. So the person that asked for information about eyes, I don't know if they're on this call, but I hope they see the replay. And if I didn't answer your questions in the talk, please contact us, let me know. All right, so how possibly, and I'll start taking questions at this time. So if you raise your hand, or if you turn on your camera and you go like this, you have a question, or you type something into the chat. Here, let me pull up the chat. All right, so everyone's welcome to ask questions. But while we wait for any questions, I would like to talk a little bit about Kangen water. Since Mr. Hope couldn't be here today, I would be remiss if I did not share some of the change your water, change your life information. So let's see. And relating that to your vision, to your eye health. So Kangen water machines, amazing technology. I actually, I love the fact that it is an electrolyzed reduced water, because you're not adding the harsh chemicals to the water. You're letting electricity provide energy to split the water molecule into OH negative and H positive ions. And then the H positive ions connect to make molecular hydrogen. So just amazing technology. I can't even believe, I remember the first time I learned what electrolysis was, and I saw the equipment they used to use for it, and I was just amazed. And it showed how, one amount of water became these two gases, and it was just mind-boggling and amazing to me. So to have one of these on my sink, it's like coming full circle to be able to take advantage of this technology just at the flick of a switch or the press of a button. And before I do talk about the lightning strike, I saw a hand, I think. So let us stop the share and let's bring in Vernita. Welcome to the call.
Thank you so much. Again, phenomenal information.
Oh, thank you.
And one question, and well, two questions actually. My friend had a detached retina. Did you say what caused that? I was making notes, and sometimes when I'm writing them, I hear myself and that you talking. I know you mentioned detached retina.
I did, and I know that phenomenon of getting lost in your notes. And that's why some people say when they do a talk, don't write anything down, just listen. I'll give you the notes. I'm not saying that. I'm saying
okay.
I have to take notes. There's something that happens in my brain, But here we go. So look at this picture. Can you see the picture now? I don't know if I shared it right. Are you seeing my screen?
Not right now, but I thought it's the back of the eyeball.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But is it showing?
No.
Oh, okay.
I saw it the first time.
Okay, so there are 3 layers.
Okay, there we go.
Okay. So in the back of the eye, there are 3 layers. There's the retina, which is the the photoelectro transducer. But then behind that layer, there's connective tissue. So there are muscles, blood vessels, like I said, collagen, just supporting the, your eyes withstand a lot of bumps and lumps in life. And so, but also it's very, very vascular. So if there's some trauma to the eye, some shift, some whiplash, some kind of sudden acceleration, deceleration, then these tissues here can separate. And like I said, blood or fluid can start to build up, and that would push this part of the retina forward and forward and forward. And, as a blood clot builds behind it, and that just messes up your vision for sure. And depending on where your vision is messed up, and sometimes we can see the changes. It looks like a rippling effect in the back of the retina. We can see that it's going to be a big problem. And if the problem is not addressed right away, then there can be scar tissue and permanent damage. So it's very, very important.
Okay, second. Gotcha. So I was thinking about my trauma to my head, and but I kept keeping out my right eye, and I still have pretty clear vision through my glasses, of course. But when my friend had it, I had no idea of what that meant. I just saw parts of the eye maybe just coming loose, and it's pretty much that, but in such a fine-tuned instrument, just Miller, what do you call it? Whatever the smallest amount makes a big difference. And a question about, you seen the Pinhole glasses that exercise your eyeballs?
Yes, yes.
They really work. I don't know why, but I bought some.
Okay.
And I can take my glasses off and put those Pinhole glasses on, and I can read. At $2, I paid for these. And I'm going, why? Why does that happen? I mean, what's going on?
You know what? I have for, decades now meant to look that up. So
Okay.
I'm going to have to look that up. I'm going to get back to you. I suspect it's because so many different points of light are hitting the retina at the same time. And so it's firing up those nerves. I mean, I don't know why it doesn't with just one beam of light as opposed to the points of light. But that's a really good question. I'm writing that down. Why Pinhole glasses work?
Yeah.
Maybe we'll have a chance to Google this right now.
Okay, and one other thing that's a comment, and you make mention, I carried a friend years and years ago to the doctor. This girl had a plethora of issues, but anyway, she said she was going to get the needle in her eyeball, and I said, I can't believe a doctor's going to put a needle in your eyeball and it not just ooze out. So I went. They let me watch. And it didn't ooze out like I thought, but he was saying the needle was so tiny. I have no idea what they were doing. I was just fascinated by the fact that you could stick a needle in your eyeball and it not deflate or juice come out. Well, so I don't know what the problem was, but that fascinated me.
Okay, so I have a picture for you of a detached retina. Let me get me out of the way. You see this up here, this picture?
Uh-huh. Oh.
You still with us?
Well, yeah. I slid something and I'll be there.
Okay. So the retina.
Oh yeah, here I am. I turned it so I can get you off my eyeball.
Okay.
I got it.
All right, so the retina, the part where the light hits and it sends signals to the nerve is the light yellow, or beige, or
okay. I see the thing.
And then behind it is connective tissue that holds the eye in place. Well, sometimes there's a separation. They're supposed to be intimately attached, right? But something can jar it loose. The blood vessels can leak. We talked about what can happen when in diabetes or high blood pressure when there's a blowout. And so this is a blood clot that's starting to form or bleeding behind the retina. So this is supposed to be attached to this.
Okay.
It's made this, but yeah, they can go in and suck some of this out. Sometimes they do that. They'll use lasers to try to tack the tissues down. It's amazing. It's amazing. For acute injuries and for acute problems, you want to have modern medicine on your side. For chronic problems, chronic issues, you want to have the three-pronged approach on your side. You want to have the three-pronged approach acutely as well to help with detoxification and hydration and all that. But we don't completely poo-poo allopathic medicine. There's a place for it when there's injury, when there are emergencies.
Right. Right. Well, that was
And
just
I'm amazed.
fascinating.
I'm amazed at what they do.
The body human is amazing. We are fearfully and wonderfully made, for sure. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Vernita. That's all you got for me today?
Well, you got to work on my pinhole glasses.
Oh, that's right. Let me add.
Okay. I mean, I don't want to overload you.
No, I'm gonna look right now because I have been wanting to, if I hope people don't mind, but that is a question I have had every time it comes up, and I always say, I need to look that up. So I'm gonna look that up right now.
All right.
You call them pinhole glasses? Is there I can't remember.
Well, that's not my name. I forgot what.
Okay, so why do pinhole glasses work? I'm not the first person to ask this question. Now let's see if I can share my screen. There it is. Okay, so I Googled.
Okay.
I Googled why do pinhole glasses work. We got a lot of articles. Can they improve your vision? Do they work? What are they used for? What are they? Who are they good for? That's a good question.
Okay, I'll Google it.
The truth about pinhole glasses. Dun, 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 dun. So you're going to have a lot of points of view. Let's see if Healthline gives us any. So pinhole glasses are typically eyeglasses with lenses that are full of a grid of tiny holes. They help your eyes focus by shielding your vision from indirect rays of light. By letting less light into your eye, some people can see more clearly. You know, that's true. You might notice if you ever go and get a new pair of glasses or new pairs of glasses and you get regular glasses, you know, reading transition, clear with clear lenses color wise, and sunglasses, you see so much better with the sunglasses because, especially if they're polarized, because it stops indirect rays of light. So light hits from all angles and it bounces. That's when you can have, if there's too much light, you can have issues like glare and things like that. But if you have polarized glasses that limit the angles where the light hits you, your vision is so much better. Oh, so they're called stenopic glasses. All right, I'm going to read this article. Let's see. It doesn't say, oh, there it is, medically reviewed by an OD, by a doctor of optometry, I guess. So there's a medical review from all this information, and pinhole glass exercise, do they work? Eye doctors are skeptical. They can't advocate, but you know, we know about that.
Yeah.
But I'm really glad, Vernita, that they worked for you, and I'm glad you asked me to look this up because
Thank you.
That's been a little, what do they call it, a splinter in the mind? That's been a feather in the mind, like a little tickle of something that I've wanted to use, that I've wanted to look up for years. So thank you.
Well, thank you. My son always tell me, Mama, you don't have to say you don't know, just Google it. And I'm like, oh, I always understand when I Google, but that's okay. I will now. I'm better.
All right.
I like this, the thalamus, all the senses go there and then to the cortex. except smell. That's that's fascinating. How important smell is.
Yes.
Because if you can't smell, you can't taste.
You're right.
So that's super important.
Yep. Yeah, I'm amazed at the wiring of they call it the cranial nerves. So the nerves that are originating in your brain, but they affect your senses and they affect your just what happens around your face. Amazing. The whole body is amazing to me.
Yeah.
And I hope I'm sharing my amazement with you guys. All right, so we are still entertaining raised voices. You can unmute yourselves, or questions in the chat. But I am going to go back to our slide. Kapow! Right, what happens in nature when lightning strikes a lake? It comes alive, and the water, just the changes in the water are amazing when electricity hits it. So here's our water molecule. And we talked about, we talked about how the electrons like to hang out with the oxygen because the oxygen is so big, the oxygen is basically giving the electrons a party. And the hydrogens are, they are partially positively charged because they're not quite holding on to the electrons as much. The electrons, even the electrons from the hydrogen, want to go to the oxygen electron party. So in a water molecule, the oxygen side of the water molecule is a little bit negative, and the hydrogen side of the water molecule is a little bit positive. And then kapow, when lightning hits, Mr. Hope will be proud of me. I used kapow twice today. This arrow, actually, there should be an arrow the other way, right? The water molecule is split into the hydroxide ion and the hydrogen ion. And we have a little negative charge on the hydroxide side and a positive charge on the hydrogen side. And the hydroxide ion has its own properties, right? Because it's negative, it can attract positive things. And a lot of the toxins in the body tend to be positive toxins that are the oxidative stress that's made in the body, and even toxins that are stored in some of our cells have a positive charge. And so they're attracted to that negative charge, and detoxification can occur. Other stuff happens too, but I just love some of these slides that Mr. Hope has because they really do show the effect of the electricity on the water molecule. And then when that gets into our cells, when that gets into our bodies, those charges can have an effect. Now, I don't want to say, and I'm very, very, I hope it's very, very clear that I'm not saying we're alkalizing the body. Is that clear, Vernita?
Of course, it's clear.
Thank
clear
you.
As clear as can be.
Thank you. Now, but why do people say that we want to alkalize the body? There's a reason. And I think maybe next week we'll talk about the Warburg, Warburg effect, Warburg principle, Warburg, what is it? hypothesis, theory, Warburg. I'm going to say the Warburg effect. I can't remember what the actual paper is right now. I've looked at it, I've read it many times, but next week, we're going to delve into why do people keep saying you need to alkalize the body? Okay. And why that may or may not be quite accurate. So stay tuned for that. I just, I can't wait to dig into that because I love it. I love it. Okay. So any more questions? All right. So thank you all for joining us today for our Independence Day get together. Oh, say, can you see? I really enjoyed having everyone here today. I wish Mr. Hope and the family that he's comforting today the best. And I want to let you know that within a few hours of this call, the replay will be on YouTube on the Kangen Water Radio channel. So if you go to YouTube and just search Kangen Water Radio, you will find our playlist. You'll find the calls, right? The individual calls, but if you hit the playlist, you'll find all 20 some plus calls. And you'll find that within each call, if you go to the description box, you click on see more if you're on your desktop, or you click on the little arrow next to the right of the title if you're on your phone, and that description box drops down, it's going to have all kinds of information, including some of the illustrations that I showed you today and the articles, the article that we talked about today, and plus a couple of more supporting articles. So I think I'll even put in that article about pinhole glasses. So it'll be there. So just go to YouTube a little later on and click on Kangen Water or search Kangen Water Radio, and kapow, you'll have all the information at your fingertips. And when you do, please, if you find value, like us, love us, subscribe, comment, do all the things. You know, we love hearing from you. If you had any questions that I did not answer today, then please ask you to put them in there, and we will, or directly call me, email me, and we will get your questions answered, or we'll make a whole show about them. So,
okay.
Thank you. Have a wonderful, safe weekend. Last word, Renita?
Yeah, I don't know how many know Margie Kidder.
Yes.
She sent me a text this morning. Her mom passed on yesterday.
Oh.
So keep her in your prayers, if you will.
Absolutely.
Yeah, she had a very long life. She was 98.
Awesome.
Awesome. I thought so too. So I sent her a note, but I didn't know how many. I know sometimes she's on the call and active, but yeah, just pray that she will be comforted somehow. Okay.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right.
Great title, great topic today.
Thank you. The dulcet tones of Dale. I don't know that I know that voice anywhere.
Oh, yes. Columbia School of Broadcasting.
Amen.
I was in the veterinarian's office with my cat, so I didn't get to hear everything. It was noisy in there, but I thought it was great, and I definitely will do the replay.
Thank you, Dale. All right, so let's see. I feel like there's something else I should do. I will show this screen for next week, right? But in between time, you can reach us at Kangen Water Nation. Ooh, there's an S in there. Kangen Water Nation, take out that S, USA. You can email us at kwnation7@gmail.com. That's kwnation, the number 7@gmail.com. You can call or text us at area code 866-526-4368. That's US toll free, 866-526-4368. Or if you are overseas, you might want to call or text our UK line. That's +44 0800 086 9793. That's country code +44 0800 086 9793. So thank you for everyone who joined us. Have a safe, wonderful weekend, rest of the weekend. Thank you for spending this time with me, with us. And oh, say, can you see? Love you all. Mwah.
Happy 4th.